Welcome back everyone to the channel. This is Hector. Today we are starting this video in Ensenada in one of the campos that we decided to explore. We found it on Google Maps and decided to go check it out. This is our first dive in this spot. We've never been here before. So I decided to take a dive and just hang out in the bottom and see what I could come out or see what was around. And it was super fishy compared to the other campers that we had been to. So this is the most fish we've seen in a while. Me and my son are stoked because we haven't seen this many fish in any of the other places we've been. And it seemed like an aquarium to us because it was super clear, not knowing what was going to happen in the next couple of days when we go back out there. So here's the first dive going, actually looking for some fish, and just looking around, sitting there, and we're only like 15, I would say probably 20 feet from the beach itself, so it's like it gets deep pretty fast. Just looking around, I spot this perch up at the top of the screen. My camera's not pointed very well, but you'll see I get a decent shot in, and there's a fish for the day. Little canyon in there, so I decided to go dive and kind of sit in between there, but didn't land where I wanted to. So I crawled around a little bit so I got to the spot that I wanted where it met the sand, and I didn't even have time to sit there very long. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I see a fish coming right at me, and it's again another perch, and even it was able to extend my arm, but I got a decent shot on it. So that was it for the day. We just came to check out this spot. We'd never been here, so we weren't supposed to be out very long. So we decided to call it a day and come back in a couple of days. And this is what we got. So this is day 2. We came back a couple of days later, and we were getting ready. We're seeing something in the water. So we go up to it and we realize it's a cat shark, and there's something going on with it. It was completely full of water or air, and it just could not stay down. At first we thought it was just dead, so I started messing around with it to see if it would swim around, and it started kicking once I pushed him off, so we knew he was still alive. So at this point, I decided that I was going to try to grab it and swim it down to the bottom to see if I could help it stay down there. And I grabbed it and I realized that sharks are very flexible, so I decided to put my second hand on it so it wouldn't turn on me. I didn't seem to be struggling too much when I was trying to do it, but here I go to try to swim it down. And I try to put it in a little crevice or see if it's just, I don't know, if it tries to regain his buoyancy a little bit better. But as you can see, it's folding up. It just wants to float up. And I put him down there, and you can see he's trying to stay down there, but it seems like it's not working. So at this point we realize that his bladder is messed up or something, and he's probably not going to make it. And I wanted my son to see if he wanted to take a closer look at it and or touch it. He has never swam with a shark before, so I handed it over to him. And as you can see, he didn't like me grabbing the end of his tail, but he touched it, and he actually let it go underneath him, and I had to explain to him that he still has sharp teeth and he can get you if you get too close to his mouth. So here I decided that I was going to give him one more try to see if I can get him to stay down. If I go a little bit further down, try to help it keep his buoyancy. I guess it doesn't hurt to try, so see if he can make it. So I try to stick him underneath his rocks to see if he can like hold itself down underneath there, and doesn't seem to be working still. He's still trying, but I didn't think he was going to make it. And by the time we got back out from diving, he was already in the rocks with the tide going down. So we threw him back in the water again, but we're pretty sure he didn't make it. So we decided that we're just going to continue with our day, so we were going to explore out further than we went last time, seeing that the water was so clear. It looked like a swimming pool. I had never seen water that clear in Ensenada. That was like when I went to Cancun when I was a kid clear. And this part right here, we stayed close to the rocks, and we found some big boulders on the left side. We started seeing a bunch of fish, a bunch of bait. So followed the bait, and then we found these boulders where there was all kinds of fish that I had never even seen there, I guess. So the water was so clear that I could not gauge how deep it actually was when I tried to go down. I felt like I kept on going down forever before I got to the fish, and I didn't even get to the boulders, and I felt like I was down a long time. As you can see, the water was so clear that you can see the fish all the way from the surface. You can see calico flashing. You can see the flashes of gold everywhere down there. I had never seen calico, so I didn't even know what I was looking for. I was fairly new. This is my third or fourth time out with a gun, so never to these depths. I've always been a super shallow diver. So I go down and you can see the calico just going everywhere. And I'm not even looking at them. I'm looking at the perch because that's really all I had eyes for at that point because I didn't know any better. But take a shot, take a good perch. I didn't even make it down to the bottom. So here I go back down again, and as you can see, all those calicos on the right, I'm not even looking at them. There's a decent sized sheephead and a calico on the left side. I don't even see him. I guess my eyes were just not trained at that point yet. So here again I go and I try to select the bigger of the perch and I get a decent shot on it. So as you can hear in the video, I'm coughing. I'm having a little trouble getting to that depth. Never been that deep ever in my life. So this was about almost 2 years ago, one of the first trips to Ensenada, and you could tell that I just wasn't used to it yet. Here I go down again, and again to the same point in the rocks that I was going down to, and as you can see, there's a pretty decent sized sheephead that comes in on the left that I didn't even see. I had never even seen a sheephead. This was my first even seeing one in the water, so yet again I wait, get the better shot, and then on the top right corner as I shoot, there was a big calico. They came in that I hadn't even seen while I was in the water. I seen it after when we were making this video. So right after this shot, I had some trouble with my reel. Everything got all tangled and it was a mess, and this was the first time of me having a reel on my gun. So what I ended up doing was just loading it and hoping that I could just get one short shot before the reel had to spool out. So I go down and we had lost our spot. This is another rock and this one was full of sheephead, and now I'm actually looking at the sheephead. So I go and I move a little too fast and I spook them. Stay there a little bit longer, wait for them to relax, and I see the big one coming back into the left, and I shoot, but it obviously didn't even get to him because of the reel being all messed up, so that was a miss for the day. At this point, I decided that it was too much of a mess for me to try to figure out in the water, and my son was starting to say that he was cold, so we decided to go in. So what we ended up doing, we went to shore and I took the reel gun off and just rigged it like I used to rig it before, and went back in the water. But I had 3 fish, so we went back in. If I got one more or two, we'd be able to have fish tacos for the whole family. So we were in shallow again and seen a little canyon, and I seen some fish popping in and out of underneath this ledge, and I couldn't figure out where they were going every time because it didn't look like there was a cave. And as I swam over that kelp on the left side, as you can see, there's some current. It's moving it around, and it moves it, and I see that it's more of a canyon that goes into the rocks. And that's when I realized that that's where all the fish were hiding at. They were just popping their heads in and out of that canyon, as you can see right here on the left side. So here I decide to turn around, stay on top of the rock, and face that crack that I found underneath the kelp where they were hanging out to get a good shot at them inside instead of having them wait to go in and out. And I was just waiting for the right time for the tide to move the kelp in the right direction so that I can get a good shot in. So right here I look back in, the water moves the kelp out of the way, and I see a fish right through there. So I point and take a shot at it. Pull it in. As you can see, it looks a little fat and I didn't notice it there. So I take out my knife and I'm getting ready to brain the fish, take it out of his misery. And as I'm doing that, as you can see, fish just starting to pop out of the belly of this fish. So apparently it was a mom, and they were getting ready to be full term, I guess. And I realized what was going on, so I decided to start, because I already had killed the mom, I decided to start popping them out as fast as I could to try to get them out to see if they can have a chance to make it. So I keep on pushing them out, occasionally pushing them out. And right at this moment, I realize that I see something on the left side, and it's a rockfish. I'd never seen one before either, but he was looking at the babies, and yeah, apparently he had already eaten a couple of them, and I didn't notice it. And right here is when I realized that he's going after them, and I kind of freak out a little bit. So I continue taking care of the fish that I have while still keeping an eye on that rockfish so that I can try to get him out of there and give the babies a chance. And at this point, I go back, my gun is loaded, and I find the rockfish. And it's actually very aggressive. It even went after the tip of my spear to try to bite it. So I just had to wait for a second so I can get a decent shot in. And he goes right there, and I take it out. And that's basically the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notification when we put out new videos. And thanks for watching.